believe we shouldn't be little of other culture just because we aren't associated with it. Respect is mutual. Let's show our gratitude for what exists. I welcome Toastmaster Karthik on stage. Toastmaster Karthik B. Speech title is Are you using that hidden superpower? Are you using that hidden superpower? Toastmaster Karthik B.
You all have 500 rupees in your pockets or in your purses. Yes, you do.
No.
You haven't realized it. And since you've not realized it, you're not able to spend it. Just like your superpower. Did you know that all of you over here have a superpower?
No.
Exactly, because you have not realized that each of you over here have a superpower. And because you've not realized it, you're not able to utilize your superpowers for your success and for the greater good of yourself as well as humanity. How unfortunate is this? Quick check. Do you know what your superpower is? Nidhi shakes her head. Clearly she has no idea. Does anyone know the superpower that you have? No. What is your superpower, Shri?
Leadership, abilities, and
Great. You think that you make a great leader. That is really nice. So Shrikar knows his superpower. It's so good to note for the fact that you are aware of your skills. What else is your superpower? No one else has a superpower. Maybe at the end of today's session, you might think a little differently. March 2024, I was doing the Pangar Chula trek in Himachal Pradesh. Are you guys aware of the Pangar Chula trek? It is a beautiful trek, spanning over about 7-8 days as such. Easy to medium to difficult. You know why I say easy to medium to difficult? Day 2. You only go from 8,000 to 9,500 feet. It's only 1,500 increase in altitude. Day 2. Day 3, easy. You go from 9,500 to 11,000 feet. Easy. Day 4, you go from 11,000 feet to 12,500 feet and come back to 11,000 feet. Medium. But the real fun begins on the summit day. The grand finale is when you start from 11,000 feet and go all the way to 15,100 feet and come back to 11,000 feet. For those people who are good at mathematics, it's 8,200 feet in a single day. You have to cover it over a period of about 12 hours. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is what I call super difficult. And for all you trekkers over here, I know what is the work that you would have done. Oh, I will hit the gym, I will do this activity, I will do that activity, I will do meditation, I will go to Decathlon, I will do all those shopping, and then I am all set for the trek. Or that is what you think. So, on the night before the summit, I sat, I closed my eyes, I visualized me waking up at 1 a.m. and starting the trek with a torch on. For 5 hours, I walked through that pitch dark environment, and finally by 6 a.m., I reached only 60% of the trek. And at 6 a.m., I have 2 more hours to the summit, and that is when this peak that is at 80 degrees faces right below you. So I imagine, I visualize, I'm sweating, I barely have energy. I take a pause. I can see myself going breathless. I can see myself having a very difficult time. But I take a breath in and decide, let me forge forward. Let me take one step at a time. And slowly I can visualize the happiness in me because I can see the summit. And I can visualize myself being happy when I finally conquer the summit. I am happy, I am elated, I am super excited. The fact that I did it. Now that I've done that, it's time to hit the bed because next morning this is exactly what I'm going to do. My visualization skills is going to help me realize that giving up is not an option. That giving up should never be an option because you should be able to do it. All that you have to visualize. Now it's pretty interesting that how we don't utilize some of these skills that are given to us because a whole lot of people around tend to use visualization for their success, and a lot of successful people, and if I tell you their names through the speech, you will be very surprised about it. No, there's a great artist, Pablo Picasso. He says that whatever you visualize is real. Take a second to understand that. Isn't it true? Because when you visualize, it does happen. You will go all extent to make sure it happens. Now, going back to the very basic question, what is visualization? Is it daydreaming? Harshita is daydreaming. Okay, so is visualization daydreaming?
No.
So what is it?
It's
Sorry?
manifestation.
Manifestation. Anyone has a different perspective?
It's drawing an image in your brain where you're sort of, say you want to trek Himalaya, Mount Kilimanjaro, it's like imagining that and imagining yourself doing it.
Lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Haniksha a huge round of applause. And the reason why I like her response is how accurate, how detailed is this web. This is like a lazy person answer, manifestation. Like, ma'am, I'm there in the class, so manifestation. No. So, but see, manifestation is just a very first step. Just because you manifest doesn't mean that you would get it. You will need to go and draw a mental picture, and that is exactly what visualization actually does. When you take a step back, you vividly think about that particular goal or that particular imagery that you want to picture in detail, in complete detail, that you'll be able to go and see the breeze, or maybe the snow, or maybe the sun shining. That is visualization. Manifestation is a lazy man's biryani. Visualization goes a lot more in detail about it. Right? And I'm sure a lot of you will be very, very curious. Visualization, how does that even happen? See, interestingly, visualization has two aspects to it. Number one is outcome visualization, and number two is process visualization. Very easy, right? What is outcome visualization? Outcome visualization, what does it mean? Visualizing the end goal. For example, you winning a marathon, you think about that moment when you whiz past the finish line. You think about the moment when you climb all those peaks over there and reach the summit. That is the end goal or outcome visualization. And what is process visualization? Process visualization. Yes, Utkarsh.
Visualizing the steps required, steps needed to be taken to reach the end goal.
That is brilliant. That is perfectly. I was a project manager. As a project manager, I had to visualize what is the beginning, what is the mid, what is the end, what are the dependencies. I would visualize every step of it before I move towards the conclusion. For all those fitness bumps over here, and I'm sure you visualize how your biceps is getting pumped, how your chest is getting pumped. You tend to go and visualize those outcomes and enjoy that particular process. As a matter of fact, why am I even giving this lecture? You guys already know outcome as well as process visualization. But you know what really happens when you try visualization? It's like a radio. Have you guys, a lot of Gen Zs over here, have you ever used a radio? Okay, thankfully someone has used a radio. Have anyone ever seen a radio here? Oh, lovely, so good to know. So when it comes to the radio, there is a dial. Like you change the dial, it changes the frequency to change the channel, not buttons, okay? So that's what a radio typically does. And human mind is basically like an electromagnet. We should be able to change the frequency. And once you're able to change that particular frequency through the power of visualization, great things can happen, and one of it is getting or going towards some of these targets that you actually crave for. So that is the power of visualization. So basically, you don't believe in it. You believe it in. Understand it? Now, you might ask, yes, we've heard about visualization so many times. What next? What next? What's the case studies that you are speaking about, right? I wanted to take myself as a case study, but keeping that aside, to more people whom we are aware of. Any marathoners over here? 1, 2, half marathoner or someone trying that, which is pretty fine. No, for a phenomenally long time, there used to be this barrier of achieving a 1 single mile in less than 4 minutes. Right? Yeah, Shrikant totally aware. Have you ever tried going below 4 minutes? But I'm sure you'll get that. I'm going to tell you the secret how. Okay? So for a long time, till the 1950s, no one ever thought that they can beat this particular timeline of hitting a mile in less than 4 minutes. The best was about 4 minutes and 1 second. 4 minutes and 1 second. How difficult is it? And then in 1954, comes Mr. Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister thought about it. He visualized and used to do this exercise consistently in addition to all the other workouts or the platform that he had created. He visualized himself running and breaking this particular record of 4 minutes. And guess what? For the first time in 80 years, since people were trying for this particular attempt, Roger Bannister in 1954 was finally able to break that 4-minute mark. It took 80 years. And that is also called the Bannister effect. And the reason why they call it Bannister effect is because many people think that it is impossible to go and break that particular record, and that one person comes, he breaks it, and guess what? From there onwards, we already had a lot of people breaking that particular record. The Bannister effect. And I'm sure this another example is very, very interesting. Anyone fan of Jim Carrey? Jim Carrey,
Yes.
the funny guy, Mamas and all of it. Yeah, all right. So he was a failure. Jim Carrey was an absolute failure. But what Jim Carrey would do is a great case study, by the way, of this one. He would visualize. He would visualize as if directors are approaching him for work. He would visualize that day in as well as day out. And then, taking it to one level extra, he would write a check with his name in it, specifying check for Jim Carrey, 10 million for acting services rendered. He folded it and kept it in his wallet. And this, my view, was when he was not successful. And then his visualization over a period of time, his passion led to him getting this movie Dumb and Dumber. And from there onwards, there was absolutely no looking back for Jim Carrey. It was such an amazing experience. This is one of the largest case studies everyone really looks forward to. What a success story. Imagine how his feeling has to be by being so passionate about what is it that he wanted. And I'm sure there are people over here who will still say, hey, what is this? Just because it worked for a couple of people, it's going to work for me, isn't it? You won't know till you try. And I'm sure there are all these, IISc, with all due respect for, my evaluator, people from IISc and, all kinds of universities coming, we will not believe it until and unless we have data. So scientific studies were actually done. The first scientific study that was actually done was parents telling kids, if you don't eat, there will be a demon below the bed. And kids actually believed it, 100% of the time. Just the way how you are believing some nonsense I'm saying. Okay, I'm just making that up, but I'm sure you can understand, right? In 1994, University of Chicago actually did an experiment. So what they did was, they pulled in a whole bunch of people and they divided them into 3 groups. The first group had to practice 1 hour of basketball, dunking the basket with a basketball for 1 hour every day for a month. That was the first group. And then we have the second group, which is do nothing. Just sit back, relax, attend Toastmasters meeting, go watch movies, whatever it is. Do nothing. And then the third group is take 10 to 15 minutes every day to visualize. What do you visualize? Exactly. Dumping the basketball right into, what is that called? The basketball, whatever it is. Okay, so dunking that inside, consistently for 10 to 15 minutes on a daily basis. And the results were pretty interesting. See, numbers, we all numbers, all those people who love numbers, listen up. So what do you think happened to the first group who practiced physically? What do you think happened to the first group? 50-50. Yeah, I'm not asking how many they threw it inside, how many they did not, okay? So with respect to where they started, what is the percentage improvement that you think that they observed?
30 or 40.
It's about 23%, 23-24%. 24% improvement was seen for those people who physically went to the court, practiced this on a daily basis. The second group who did nothing. Guess what happened to them?
No improvement.
Exactly, absolutely nothing. They stayed exactly where they were. Now comes the interesting aspect. Number 3, those people who visualize in terms of the dunking the basket. What happened to them?
They were able to,
Sorry?
they were able to do it.
They were able to do, definitely. Even previously they were able to do. The only difference is what was the improvement or the so-called decrement that we are actually seeing, right? Guess what? They observed a 23% improvement even though they had not gone to the court and practiced, they still were able to go and see a 23% improvement. Now just think about it. Without you stepping into the court, if you are able to go and have a 23% improvement, what would happen when you go ahead and combine both of these things together? Phenomenal improvement that will make a lot of us superpowers. Isn't it? And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to bring you a tad bit insight into something called visualization. And I'm sure a lot of you will still have certain doubts that does it really work? Until and unless you go and try it. People don't. And that's the reason, the next few minutes, I'm going to force yourself to visualize something amazing. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yeah? Alright. So all those people who are slouched, can you please sit straight? Very nice. Good job on that. Okay? Is that your straight? Just checking. I'm going to get a very bad mark on the report. Yeah. Okay. Now that you're there, close your eyes. Please close your eyes. Just stay with me for about 5 minutes. Now that you've closed your eyes, listen to the sounds around. The fan purring. Now visualize the numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are entering a room full of audience. They are all waiting for your speech eagerly. You are in the best attire. You have a jump in your stride. You are excited. You are confident. You walk up the stage and look at the audience eye to eye. You deliver your speech with the best of the energy, body language, and tone. The audience is amazed at your delivery and listening to you with full intent. You are comfortable and at ease. As you conclude, the audience erupts in applause. You have won, and with a wide smile, you go back to your chair, with the audience continuing to applaud for you. Visualize 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly open your eyes. How did that make you feel? I was able to see a lot of smiles, people who lived that particular moment, and you were absolutely relishing it and absolutely cherishing every bit of it. And I'm sure next time you come on the stage, when you continue to visualize, whatever preparation that you've done is going to make you one hell of a speaker and able to connect with the audience and maybe give them the best speaker experience you ever wanted. See the power of visualization. Be it with respect to your health as well as stress. There's a lot that you can do to reduce it and make sure you're in the best of those places. And as from the examples that we saw, when it comes to physical limitations and the kind of things that you can do in sports and such kind of activity, there are great things that you'll be able to do with the power of visualization. And in addition to it, and I'm sure people who run atomic habits will also know that in case you want to inculcate a habit, you need to visualize. Just think about running, just think about wearing that shoe and see you perform miracles. At the end of the day, this is a superpower. We all have it. The only problem is, we haven't utilized it. Van Gogh, the great painter, actually said, I dream about the painting and then paint the dream. So ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, as well as get the question that I have for you is, are you ready to visualize your future?
Yes.
And are you able to go and paint that particular future with visualization?
Yes.
Thank you for that, and back to you, Theo.
With so much energy, he tuned us into highest frequency, and his seamlessness still we couldn't come out of it. Thank you so much, Rosmaster Karthik, for that seamless speech. Now, it's a time to go into next session, which is evaluation. Let me call our general evaluator for our report.
Good evening again, Toastmasters and guests. I'm
Good
sure
evening.
a few of you are wondering why we don't have our regular break right now. The reason is we have a potluck after the meeting, and I'm sure that will take a lot of time. So, in order to enjoy that fully, we're preponing the evaluation section of our meeting. So just hold on for another 20 minutes. Before I go on with the general evaluation, I will ask the timer, can you